Hey Gloria, so I finally got around to making a video for It's Complicated by a Day to Remember. I was looking at the acoustic version, and there is one tab on Ultimate Guitar, but it just doesn't make very much sense. It doesn't work after the intro. So I was trying to figure it out by ear, but it didn't sound very good. So the way that I would really play this is just using open chords. So what I figured out how to do is with the capo on the 4th fret, I'll show you like the easiest way to play this, and it sounds pretty good. So it's standard tuning, but you need to have a capo on the 4th fret. I'm just going to play the song, and then after I do that, I will explain the hard parts. There's one part in the song that's really weird to me. It's like, it just feels off, the timing. Like they do an okay job singing it. I don't know if they got off or if this is how they usually do it, like if their rhythm got off on this part, but I think I'll just say something about it when it starts to happen. It's like they start strumming E minor and they come in on like an offbeat, so sometimes when you're playing along it feels really strange when you get there. So anyways, here we go. Pull it up. E minor, C, G, D, E minor, C, G, D, E minor, D, E minor, D, C, G, D, E minor, D, C, G, D, E minor, D. This is the part. E minor, C, G, D, E minor, C, G, D, E minor, D, E minor, D, C, G, D, E minor, D, C, G, D, E minor, D. This is all G. This is E minor. G, D, E minor, D, C, G, D, E minor, D, C, and G. So the part that throws me off is when it's like the "You Still Know Me, Still Not Cut Out for the Sort of Thing." When he starts singing that, it's just weird. He like plays E minor, but then kind of comes in. It just kind of comes in on a little off. But if you listen to it enough, I'm sure you'll get the feeling for it. So the part where I stopped saying the chords, that was a little tricky to say the chords and play, is the bridge when they're singing "I Won't Sleep Till the Break of Dawn." So what they're doing is, if you watch the acoustic video, they're like sliding up. That sounds kind of bad on acoustic when you have a capo on, so what I think sounds better is just to go like this. that's the hardest part in the song, definitely. So here's what I'm doing. I'm putting my middle finger on 3 on the A string, and I'm going. So this is a down, up, down, pull off, up, and then you start strumming. But it's got to be pretty fast, so you do this 4 times. So this is a useful thing to know how to do, so it's worth spending some time figuring out. Like this, sliding from 3 to 5. What I'm doing is sliding from 3 to 5, hitting, this is open, and then put my first finger on 4, and my third finger on 5. So that sounds pretty much like what they're doing. It sounds close enough. And then this is the hardest thing to do in the song. So what I'm doing is strumming E minor. First thing I'm strumming up to right here. So make sure you can do that. And then I'm hitting the G string. Then I hit F sharp, or the 4th fret on the D string. And then open D. So the hard thing is just getting control over your pick. And I strum this chord, sounds pretty close to like what they're doing. The middle finger on 3 and first finger on 2. So, and then do it again, but then you just wait and then you strum a D chord. But notice I'm actually only strumming to right there. I'm only hitting these 3 strings. So you can actually just hold your finger here and not hold D down. But a lot of times it's safer because it won't sound bad if you hit. But the song never sounds that bright, so it sounds a little better just to go. So let me play that whole section, and I'll play the whole song again. And if it's not making sense, you can leave a comment and I'll do another video or something. One thing I would say is if this part's too hard, really what you could do is just go. Instead of doing all this, you could just go. You could just strum G this whole time. And then you could, instead of doing this thing, you could just hit D. And then on this part you could just go E minor and G, E minor and D. So maybe at the end of this video I'll just do that once. I'll play that part with the simpler way to do it. Alright, so I'll just play the whole song one more time. If I can pull it up. Oh yeah, one more thing. In the intro, it sounds like the chord they're using is not straight E minor. So what you can do is play E minor in the bit, like have E minor here, but put your third finger right there just for the intro. You start with this note. This is exactly what the shape they're playing. What you do is you hit these 2 strings, and then you hit this string. But it's faster. And I like to do up picks for this kind of thing. This is harder. You can still do this, but a lot of times I just... So you'll see me do that in the intro, and that chord's called E minor 7, but really it's just E minor with D. And that's what it is. So just remember to add that note. Alright, so here we go. E minor, C, G, D, E minor, minor, D, E minor, D, C, G, D, E minor, D, C, G, D, E minor, D, C, E minor. C, that's the awkward part. C, G, D, E minor, C, G, D, then E minor, D, E minor, D, C, G, D, E minor, D, C, G, D, E minor, D. Is that tricky? D, C, G, D, E minor, C, D, C. So let me play that tricky part once, the bridge part. I'll play it one more time, and then I'll give the easier way to do it. And I am looking at a chord chart, and I was going to talk about how to use that, but really I think it's just more confusing, so I wouldn't worry about it. Where is it? So the bridge starts at like 153 in the acoustic video, so I'm going to go a little bit before that. Alright. Here it is. So if that's too hard, what you could do is this really easy way. It won't sound quite as cool, but you could just go like this. So it starts at like 153. I'm just going to strum G. That part is pretty hard. I'll do it one more time and call out the chords. So again, here's the real way to do it. I mean, the way that I would do it. It sounds pretty close to it. But the easy way is you just do G for the whole, instead of doing any of this stuff, you just go. D chord, and then E minor, down, 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 and then G, and then E minor, and then D. So that's real easy. First thing you need G. stay on G, D, E minor, and G, E minor, and then D, and then you go back to G. So that's definitely the easiest way to do it. Yeah, and I'm looking at a chord chart, but it has some problems in it. It's just the basic chords for this song, but it helped me to kind of figure out what to do and also to remember what to play. So hopefully this is helpful. If not, let me know. And if you want the more detailed view, like what I would probably do is just recommend learning the original version versus the acoustic version. The acoustic version, like the tab is not right, and I don't really want to figure that out all by ear because it would take a long time. So the original version has a lot of the details though from what they're doing in the acoustic version. The acoustic version is just sort of a modification of it. So okay, hope this helps. Bye.